Hey, hi, what's up? My name's Adam McMaster, and guess what? If you haven't heard the news, which I highly doubt if you're here right now, but Elliot frickin' Page came out as transgender last week. I don't mean to be like, but I doubt that anybody doesn't know who Elliot is, but they currently star in the Umbrella Academy as Vanya Hargreaves, or you might know them from previous things such as Juno, my all-time favorite movie, or also Whip It. Oh, I love Whip It so much. It's literally such an underrated movie. Anyway, this is some seriously big news, and we all couldn't be happier for Elliot, of course. Elliot wrote on Twitter,
"Hi friends, I want to share with you that I am trans. My pronouns are he, they, and my name is Elliot. I feel lucky to be writing this, to be here, to have arrived at this place in my life. I feel overwhelming gratitude for the incredible people who have supported me along this journey. I can't begin to express how remarkable it feels to finally love who I am enough to pursue my authentic self. I've been endlessly inspired by so many in the trans community. Thank you for your courage, your generosity, and ceaselessly working to make this world a more inclusive and compassionate place. I will offer whatever support I can and continue to strive for a more loving and equal society. I also ask for patience. My joy is real, but it is also fragile. The truth is, despite feeling profoundly happy right now, and knowing how much privilege I carry, I am also scared. I'm scared of the invasiveness, the hate, the jokes, and of violence. To be clear, I am not trying to dampen a moment that is joyous and one that I celebrate, but I want to address the full picture. The statistics are staggering. The discrimination towards trans people is rife, insidious, and cruel, resulting in horrific consequences. In 2020 alone, it has been reported that at least 40 transgender people have been murdered, the majority of which were Black and Latinx trans women. To the political leaders who work to criminalize trans healthcare and deny our right to exist, and to all of those with a massive platform who continue to spew hostility towards the trans community, you have blood on your hands. You unleash a fury of vile and demeaning rage that lands on the shoulders of the trans community. A community in which 40% of trans adults report attempting. Enough is enough. You aren't being canceled. You are hurting people. I am one of those people, and we won't be silent in the face of your attacks. I love that I am trans, and I love that I am queer. And the more I hold myself close and fully embrace who I am, the more I dream, the more my heart grows, and the more I thrive. To all trans people who deal with harassment, self-loathing, abuse, and the threat of violence every day, I see you, I love you, and I will do everything I can to change this world for the better. Thank you for reading this. All my love, Elliot."
Not only was this letter incredibly raw and real, Elliot was so vulnerable in sharing that he's actually scared of what's to come, despite being flooded with feelings of happiness and relief. Coming out as trans is scary, especially considering that at least 40 transgender or gender non-conforming people have been murdered this year in the United States alone. It's an eye-opening experience into the fear that's instilled onto our community simply for being who we are. Elliot wrote about understanding his privilege while also recognizing that he's currently fragile and scared, and he asked his supporters for their patience. Elliot's wife, Emma Portner, also spoke out on her Instagram page using Elliot's coming out message and captioned,
"I am so proud of Elliot Page. Trans, queer, and non-binary people are a gift to this world. I also ask for patience and privacy, but that you join me in the fervent support of trans life every single day. Elliot's existence is a gift in and of itself. Shine on, sweetie. Love you so much."
It's always such a warm feeling to know when trans people are being loved by the people that they're closest to. And unfortunately, Elliot isn't the only one who's going to face discrimination, invasiveness, and just general inappropriateness from the public. In fact, Emma already had to speak out on her Instagram story to address the overwhelming discussions that were happening around her identity. She wrote,
"My gender identity, pronouns, and sexuality are private and not up for debate. Would love for the energy in discussion over my identity to shift into addressing the climate crisis or sharing resources to support LGBTQIA2+ resiliency instead. I am so grateful for the accountability, love, and support. Welcome."
Can I just say how proud I am of this couple right now? Like, this is the power couple that we needed in 2020. And while I really wish I could end the video here, I can't. While I was doing my research, I came across so many videos and comments from the public that just made me want to throw a hammer through some drywall. And since I am protected by the Fair Use Act, we're gonna go over some of them and discuss why they're problematic. First, I want to go over what dead naming is and why that's problematic so that most of us can at least try to be on the same page. What is dead naming? Dead naming is the use of the birth or other former name, i.e. a name that is dead, of a transgender or non-binary person without their consent. This is worth talking about because while many of the things that we've seen on the internet have adjusted appropriately since Elliot's coming out, too many things have gone wrong. First and foremost, I want to talk about Ellen DeGeneres. Yeah, I know, that's a tricky topic within itself. But while companies such as IMDb, Wikipedia, and Netflix have all adjusted their publicly available information accordingly since Elliott's coming out, Ellen DeGeneres has somehow let several days pass without doing anything about the fact that Elliott's dead name is still on her YouTube channel. And I get it, not everybody is going to go back through YouTube channels and, you know, physically change the titles and descriptions of all their videos. But Ellen DeGeneres, a very well-known member of the LGBTQ community and somebody who makes a lot of profit on the content that they post online, not being able to update her YouTube video. Like, you're telling me that she doesn't have a staff member that couldn't have taken 20 minutes this week to adjust the YouTube video titles and like not dead name Elliot anymore? Especially considering she even tweeted her support for the actor when he came out. I don't know, literally just changed the text. Be on the right side of history. It's not the only place that Elliott's former name is still lingering, unfortunately. Even current articles are being released and news outlets are using Elliott's former name despite the entire transgender non-binary community begging people to stop. Since Elliott's now shared his real name with us. We have KTLA5 who posted this video directly dead naming Elliott in the title. I hate it so much. They literally made it sound like they had a kid or something. I don't even know how to begin telling you all of the ways that this is problematic. Not even just to Elliot, but to the entire trans community as a whole. I'm gonna go to my React station. Hello, hi, thank you for joining me. So this video was uploaded by KTLA5 News Channel. It is titled, Page with Huge Announcement, Meet Elliot Page. So yeah, right off the bat, we're already dead naming Elliot. The description just says that this segment aired on the KTLA5 Morning News, Tuesday, December 1st, 2020. The top comments are awful. If I was to just read you the top 5. Does this mean he has to return the award for Best Female Actress or what? Juno just played an Uno reversal card on us. I just came here to check the dislikes out. I identify as totally confused. Paige, this isn't even my final form. So, yeah, alright, here we go.
With a great movie, a star-making role for the star, the then actress Paige opposite J.K. Simmons and Allison Janney in Juno.
Already dead naming. Also, I'm just gonna point out right now, this is literally the last person in the entire world that we would need to be reporting this kind of news to us, but...
You're pregnant?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And if it is any consolation, I have heartburn that is radiating in my kneecaps, and I haven't taken a dump since Wednesday morning.
I didn't even know you were sexually active.
Who is the kid?
The baby? I don't really know much about it other than, I mean, it has fingernails, allegedly.
Nails, really?
Yeah.
Paige has worked steadily since, most recently, the high-profile Netflix show.
Like, really? Like, really? Do I have to... Okay.
The Umbrella Academy, but now Paige won't be making
Should we count how many times? Like, should I just, like... Oh.
any more movies or TV shows. Rather, Elliot Page will. The Instagram announcement this morning, the actor has come out as transgender and is...
Elliot Page will no longer be an actor. Elliot Page will. Elliot came out as transgender. Those transgenders.
making a change in their life. Elliot writes, I want to share with you that I am trans. My pronouns are he, they, and my name is Elliot. I feel lucky to be writing this, to be here, to have arrived at this place in my life. I love that I'm trans. I love that I'm queer. And the more I hold myself close and fully embrace who I am, the more I dream, the more my heart grows, and the more I thrive. And Elliot concludes with this: to all trans people who deal with harassment, self-loathing, abuse, and the threat of violence every day, I see you, I love you, and I'll do everything I can to change the world for the better.
The end. So in the end, we did call Elliot by his real name, but, you know, for the first minute and 20 seconds of a minute and 30-second long video, we dead named them. This is the news that's being played to the general public. Like, if I wasn't tech savvy, if I wasn't somebody who goes on the internet, if I wasn't somebody who, like, goes outside of what is just presented in front of me to find my own resources, then this is all that I would see. This is all that I would know. And that's what's happening. Like, all of these news outlets are posting things like this, making it seem like it's okay. This is the furthest from okay. And that's just an example. That's literally just one example. Thank you. I am back from my React station. And of course, if news outlets and celebrities dead-naming Elliot wasn't enough, we have the world of Twitter. I hate Twitter for this reason. Twitter is so toxic. I either use Twitter for the dumbest stuff or to state where I stand on current issues. But mostly, I just use Twitter to dump all of the random thoughts that I have that nobody actually cares about. But I also like to use Twitter to check up on what other people are saying, like my friends or other people that I know, whatever. Like, no offense, he's really cool, or Ariel Scarcella, she's not really cool. So, naturally, when I found out that Elliot was receiving both love and ridicule for coming out, I went straight to the world of Twitter to find out what people were saying. Can't say I was surprised, but this is what I found. And while Ariel has always posted transphobic ideas and used her platform to literally just shit on trans people and profit off of spreading misinformation, who said that? I still somehow had hope that she would just leave Elliot alone, but she's just incapable of actually caring about any trans person whatsoever. Noah made a really good YouTube video on this, thankfully. I'll link it down below so you guys can check it out if you haven't seen it already. He hit almost, if not every point in his YouTube video, and I was so relieved to see it because truthfully, I did not even have the energy to go through the massive issue that is Ariel Scarcella. Why is it too that so much transphobia comes from within the LGBTQ community? This came from somebody whose profile said that he was not straight, and yet he felt the need to comment.
Makes sense, bro.
Why is it that people cannot get that anytime Elliot would have been talking about men in this way, they would have been talking about cis men specifically? Like, anytime anybody is talking about men in this way, safe to say, they're talking about cis men. Twitter in general just never fails to make my jaw hit the floor. COPSHATEMOES also made a really great YouTube video discussing this controversy, and I will link that below in the description as well. And this comment specifically made my entire night. Rightfully so, it has been pinned. I wonder if Ariel realizes that she wouldn't be losing lesbians if she would recognize trans lesbians. Someone that I follow on TikTok named Juno summed it up perfectly in this video that she made, and I asked her permission if I could share it with you. Check this out.
Okay, this is the most bullshit sentence I've ever seen. It's ridiculous to think that any sexuality is finite and that if somebody transitions, like, you are losing members of your ranks. Like, you don't realize that kids are probably coming out every day, and with the acceptance that we have, there's probably more lesbians than ever. And we all know that she's a TERF and how much fucking bullshit it is for her to talk about how that part of the community is endangered when she constantly shits on trans women. Trans women, especially trans women of color and black trans women, are the most vulnerable people in the LGBTQ community. Fact. If anybody's endangered, it's them. We get it. You're upset that one of your past partners transitioned and that ended the relationship and you can't get over it. Stop trying to make somebody else's coming out a fucking story about you.
As of right now, Elliot's wife seems to have removed herself from Twitter and Instagram just days after speaking up on privacy issues regarding her own identity and her relationship with Elliot. It's so disheartening to know that the world has been so invasive and cruel in a place where they could have been so kind and loving and compassionate. I can only hope that Emma and Elliot feel loved and cared for by those of us who do stand by them. All in all, Elliot deserved so much more in response to their coming out posts. I'm beyond grateful for all of the celebrities and such that are taking to the internet to spread their love for Elliot, to help drown out all of the toxicity that other people are trying to spread. But to try and shove all of this hate under the rug would be even more damaging. To not even acknowledge the pain that these people are causing to not only Elliot himself, but to the entire transgender community as a whole, would just gaslight those of us who have no choice but to put up with the very real and very smothering bullshit that trans people have to put up with on a daily basis in response to this kind of ignorance. Thank you for watching my video. I hope everyone is doing their best to keep safe and take care during these tough times. This time of year is really hard for me personally, and I know that even just recognizing that we're not alone in these feelings can do wonders for our mental well-being. I'd love to connect with you on any of the following platforms, and make sure to let me know what you think about this specifically in the comments below. Thanks again for joining me. Please like, comment, share, save, subscribe, and all of that jazz, and I will check you later.